Disappointing job numbers are out, and Joe Biden's handlers, who may or may not be running for president, are slapping lipstick on that pig faster than a wind farm CEO can cash a taxpayer check. Last week, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that payrolls rose by just 206,000 on the month, which was slow enough to send unemployment jumping to 4.1%. That's a four-year high for unemployment, roughly 20% above Trump's last pre-COVID unemployment rate, and it triggers the Fed's dreaded Sam rule, suggesting that we are indeed in a recession. Congratulations to everybody. Where did it all go wrong? One word: revisions. Over 100,000 jobs we thought we had turned out to be imaginary. So May was revised down by 54,000 jobs. April was revised down by 57,000. That took the headline 206 down to just 95,000 jobs in an economy of 330 million. Presumably to be revised down again next month. Of course, it gets worse. Over one-third of the jobs allegedly created were actually government workers. So depending how revisions go next month, of course, that could turn out to be half or more government workers, which is spitting distance to the Soviet Union. So if it feels like the government is taking over the economy, why, yes, it is. Worse than numbers is job composition, so part-time versus full-time. We actually lost 30,000 full-time jobs last month, swamped by 50,000 new part-time jobs. My colleague E.J. Antoni calculates this brings the tally to 1.6 million lost full-time jobs over the past year, replaced by 1.8 million gigs. This matters because part-time jobs are overwhelmingly for economic reasons. People are struggling to make ends meet. So we're losing stable incomes that you can use to support a family and replacing them with gigs. Both, of course, show up as jobs in mainstream media, at least when the president is a Democrat. Finally, the elephant in the room, the millions of missing jobs. The feds peddle two big unemployment reports every month, the Establishment Survey and the Household Survey. So Establishment asks companies how many jobs they created, but given almost no companies bother responding, they use statistical magic to guess, hence the massive revisions. Anyway, there's a second Household Survey that actually does ask people if they've got a job, and under Biden, an unprecedented gap has opened between the two, where there are 5 million supposed jobs that the Household Survey cannot find. This gap actually got bigger last month by yet another 90,000 missing jobs, so it's anybody's guess if jobs are growing at all. No, these people don't necessarily show up as unemployed. Millions are counted as out of the labor market, whether they're homeless or living on government checks. Statistically, they're retired. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. These are not the numbers Biden wants going into an election, even if he could finish a coherent sentence. And they put Jerome Powell up against a wall, afraid to cut interest rates with inflation rising, but increasingly forced to by rising unemployment. If Jerome breaks, which historically he will, we could see the Fed cutting into rising inflation, which would just make the inflation go faster. If this happens, as seems likely, this could lock us into a 1970s stagflation that last time around delivered double-digit inflation and double-digit unemployment. A new episode of the podcast just went up. Check it out at petersainond.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.